Most gardeners have been conditioned to think that fertilizers are the key to growth. Bags of NPK and bottles of liquid feed dominate garden centers, and advertisements promise instant green results. But there was a time before chemical fertilizer, a time when farmers worked with the soil, not against it. What's remarkable is that many of those old crops, the ones quietly buried by modern agriculture, grew faster and stronger than anything we use today. These are the forgotten plants that Big Ag doesn't talk about anymore because they make synthetic fertilizer obsolete. They feed the soil naturally, survive in poor ground, and regenerate land that modern systems have drained dry. Once you understand how they work, you realize you can maintain living, fertile soil indefinitely without a single drop of chemical input. Why modern farming buried these crops under convenience and profit? The decline of traditional soil-building crops wasn't because they stopped working, it was because they didn't fit the new agricultural model. Fenugreek acts as a nutrient miner and compost accelerator. Fenugreek is another ancient legume with dual purpose. It feeds you and the soil. While it's often known for its seeds in cooking, its true power lies underground. The roots host bacteria that fix nitrogen just like Lab, but they also exude compounds that trigger microbial growth. When used in rotation or as a quick green manure, fenugreek breaks down rapidly and releases nitrogen, phosphorus, and trace minerals in a balanced ratio. To use it effectively, scatter fenugreek seeds thickly over a bed you've just harvested, about 1 handful per square meter, and rake them lightly into the soil. Water daily for the first week, and within 20 days, you'll have dense greenery. At this stage, cut the plants down and mix them into the top few inches of soil. The decomposing stems and roots act as a jumpstart for earthworms, making it an excellent choice for restoring tired compost beds. In cooler regions, you can even grow it under low tunnels as a winter cover crop that doubles as a spring soil booster. Pigeon pea is the long-term builder that thrives where nothing else will. Pigeon pea has been quietly sustaining small farmers for centuries in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. It grows in dry, rocky, or nutrient-depleted soils where most crops would fail. Its deep root system breaks through hardpan layers, aerating compacted soil and creating channels that hold water long after rain. Like Lab and fenugreek, it fixes nitrogen, but it also adds huge amounts of biomass. For best results, plant pigeon pea at 1 seed every 50 centimeters in rows spaced about 1 meter apart. Within 2 months, you'll see knee-high growth, and by 6 months, the plants can reach 2 meters tall. If used as a soil conditioner, cut it before it sets seed and leave the biomass to decompose directly on the bed. The root channels it leaves behind will fill with microbial life, turning even hard clay soil into friable loam. How these crops outperform fertilizer in the long run. Synthetic fertilizers only feed plants directly, not the soil ecosystem. They provide quick results but destroy fungal networks and microbial diversity over time. The forgotten crops, on the other hand, work biologically. They feed microbes first, and microbes feed plants continuously. Each season they build more humus, increase water retention, and buffer pH naturally. Where fertilizer runs out in weeks, these plants keep releasing nutrients for months. That's why regenerative farmers are returning to them. They build resilience instead of dependence. If your soil is compacted or infertile, start by dedicating just 1 bed to these species. Rotate Lab in summer, fenugreek in early fall, and pigeon pea as a perennial hedge or windbreak. Within a single year, you'll notice a measurable shift: less crusting after rain, more earthworms, and better plant response across all beds. Reclaiming these ancient species is the true rebellion against industrial farming. These crops were never banned by law, but by neglect. Big Ag doesn't need to outlaw them. It simply erases them from modern practice through marketing and seed availability. But every gardener who plants them chips away at that system of dependence. Each Lab vine, each fenugreek sprout, each pigeon pea tree is a living reminder that fertility doesn't come from a bag. It comes from biology. So the next time you're tempted to buy another bottle of Supergrowth Booster, remember there's a better way, one that costs nothing and lasts forever. These are the crops that built civilizations long before synthetic fertilizers existed, and they'll keep doing so as long as we bring them back to our gardens. If you found this guide useful, subscribe to Hydrohaven for more soil-smart growing methods that free you from fertilizer, forever. Share this with another gardener who's ready to break the cycle and grow the way nature intended.